Alright, good morning. 6:30 in the morning and I'm off for another ride. It's about an hour later than last time, unfortunately. This time I'm headed back to the same destination on the same bike. A titanium road bike with a massive handlebar extender. I had a disaster last time with 2 flat tires. This time I've got a pump and I've got a set of spare tires and a small attached to the bike. So I'll show that to you now. This time hopefully I'm prepared. I bought a little pump. I got some spare tires in here. I got my bag loaded up with drinks. Let's see how well I can do. Unfortunately, over the last week I did a lot of easy mountain climbing with my daughter, so my whole body is aching all over. Here's a lesson for the kids out there. Once you have gotten into good shape, never let yourself get out of good shape, because getting back into good shape at almost 50 is incredibly painful. Very, very painful. So anyway, got to give it a try anyway. Now today's ride is a little bit different. Here's a construction site next to my school. Today's ride is a bit different, going a different route. It's a 40-kilometer one-way. Last route I took in my previous video was a bit, what's the word? A little bit depressing, not very beautiful. There were some nice parts to that ride. This time I'm going to try my best to get onto a more beautiful route, although I suspect the first part of the ride is going to be very boring. So now I'm driving through the vacation community. Right over there is the beach. You can't see it, but behind those trees there's a beach. It's kind of boring beach, but there aren't that many beaches in Dalian. So it's become a vacation community. You can see all these nice homes were built here. But a lot of them are empty. Probably most of them are empty. That's China. Most homes are empty. Or I should say, most new homes are empty. There's a lot of runners out this morning. 加油! And away we go, little by little. Now we're pulling into the main road of Jinshitan, sort of the local highway, though it's not a highway. And you can see this is the light rail line, sort of like our local subway. It can take you all the way to downtown Dalian. It's probably the best way to travel in the area because obviously there's no traffic, and you can take it all the way downtown for a relatively low fee. I've never taken it. Well, that's not true. I have taken it, but not since I've lived here. And here we are on Jinshilu. Our local McDonald's is up ahead. If it were not such a hazy day, you could probably see the sign. I can see it. Oh, there's the light rail. Again, too many trees in the way, but just beyond this light rail is an amusement park. Here's the local subway station, or Qingwei light rail station. This is sort of downtown Jinshitan. A lot of shops and whatnot in this area. If you make a right down this road, which I won't be doing. There's the Pizza Hut, Luckin Coffee, Lawson's, that's a Japanese convenience store, KFC, 西家的饺子, a lot of other places. And off we go. There's a nice street sweeper, usually a retired person. When I instruct my children to work hard, I say, do you want to become a street sweeper when you grow up? Because it's sort of the lowest level of society. But they get respect to some degree. And they get to be out making money, even though they're old people usually, which is good. In China, it's so hard to have a job when you're old. It's just impossible to find a job. I guess it's like that everywhere. So there are certain jobs that can be taken by elderly people, like security guard positions and street sweepers and whatnot. So now we're approaching the end of the sort of residential area, heading out to the edge of the bubble that is Jinshitan. Maybe another 10 kilometers or less will be outside the bubble. I'm about 5 kilometers from my school right now. 6 maybe. This time I'm heading out east. Last time I went out. Here we go. Well, just turned onto this road, officially leaving Jinshitan. It's funny, I just took this road for the first time with my car the other day when I was heading to Shenyang, and I noticed that this little house is blocking the roads. The entire road was rerouted around it, and one lane was closed. So I guess these folks in that house didn't want to sell out to the government, and somehow they had the right to stay. That always amazes me. Eminent domain doesn't always trump local rights here. Well, just got to the top of a big hill. This is the same road that I've been taking repeatedly recently. I realized that last time when I drove my car on it. One thing about this part of China, it's like wherever you go, you're always surrounded by people. It's very hard to get into places where there's no people, or at least within 2 or 3 kilometers of a lot of people. But the density is much lower here, obviously, as you can see from this road. It's middle of rush hour now, or the early part of rush hour, and there's very few cars on this massive 6-lane road. One interesting thing about China is that no place is too small for a farm. Climbed another hill. Really long, slow climb. Must have been like 3 kilometers. And I get rewarded with this little downhill. And another hill. Perfect. Well, now I swapped roads. I'm on the National Road 212. It's like equivalent to what would be, I guess, a route in America. In the hierarchy of roads, these are the old highways before the expressways were put in. Some places in the country where there still are not so many expressways, these are the main thoroughfares. Just as I think the old routes in America used to be, and maybe still are. Anyway, nice long, smooth downhill here, enjoying that. I'm about halfway to my destination. 20 kilometers. I'm going the long way today. Now we're pulling up into some kind of town. It says Pulandian, but Pulandian is a large area. So let's see. Maybe Pulandian is up ahead still. Pulandian Gaizhou is up ahead. Jinzhou, Dalian to the left. Huayuankou and Dandong right. Oh wow. I've made it to the National Road 201. Very familiar with this road because it goes from Dalian to Dandong. I used to live in Dandong and I used to use the Guodao 201, the National Road 201, quite a lot. So yeah, some kind of town, which would be great if I could find a shop that sells sunblocks. I could take off my sunblock jacket, which would be nice. I forgot to bring my sunblock. Anyway, little Chinese town. And today's ride is brought to you in part by Orange Peel Oolong Tea from Sandeli or Suntory, which is a amazing Japanese company. This might sound crazy, but I'm actually happy to live now because I'm in the middle of the tea wars in China. This Japanese company, Suntory, or Sandeli in Chinese, produces all kinds of, well, they started with a straight oolong sugar-free tea, which I had in Japan about 20 years ago. So good. Cold from the machine in Tokyo, walking around the hot streets. And it blew my mind because at that time in my life I had never had a drink that was unsweetened from a vending machine. Since that time, this drink has spread all over Asia, I guess all over the world, and the company has now diversified. And they make this awesome tea. Sugar-free oolong tea seasoned with or flavored with orange peels. Really, really good. They also are coming out with Chinese competitors because this tea has been so successful. So now that when I go to these shops, like for example, when I go to my local Lawson's shop, they have like 10 different sugar-free teas that you can buy, which are all really good. Still, probably the best is Suntory. Although Kang Shifu they came out with a really good copy recently of the oolong. Very nicely done. Anyway, so here's the National Road 201. You can see right there, it says Dandong Fangxiang. So if I take this road for about 400 kilometers, I'd eventually end up in Dandong. Of course, that would take me quite a few days. Anyway, onward we go, heading north still. Well, I thought I'd show you the town a little bit. Here we have your tire swapping place for the giant trucks that run along these two national roads. I just passed the National Road 201 and I was just actually on the 212. I'm actually still on the 212 National Road. A lot of trucking. A lot of big trucks come through here, or at least they used to when the economy wasn't dying. This town reeks of feces like you would not believe. I don't know if it's cow feces or human feces from the fields or what, but wow, what a stench. Anyway, just a typical Chinese town. It's actually nice, not bad, aside from that smell, but it seems to be dissipating as I head north. Here's a local sports high school. So basically, people come here to train in particular sports. Those who may not be academically gifted, but seem to have some skill at swimming, cycling, ping pong, whatever else. They might come to a school like this to hone their skills and hope for a future that way. You can see this area is somewhat developed. It's interesting to me, towns like this were really the beneficiaries of the more recent, let's say, 10 years of economic prosperity prior to the COVID explosion. Because these places were literally just, well, they looked like this, or worse, until about 10 years ago, when sort of the trickle-down effect of economic investment and development began to hit these places. This dude looks like he's chilling on the ground. Poor guy. Hope he didn't fall down. Anyway, nice little Chinese town. See if I can find out what the name of this town is. I might be in Shuiku. Well, I think I'm not quite to Shuiku yet. That would be a little bigger than this, maybe. And 这是什么地方？这里？谢谢。I think he said Yutiao. I couldn't really hear clearly. Yuting I think he said. But I got my headphones in, so can't really hear. All right, upward and onward. Just a little introduction to a small Chinese town. Well, finally off of the national road for a little ways anyway. Although this road has been built up with some pretty substantial barriers on the side, so usually that means it gets, oh, beautiful building, beautiful paintings. Usually that means it gets some kind of heavy traffic coming through here. Not always, but sometimes. Now this is more of like a countryside town, and the government has made an effort to beautify these places by painting the walls like this. That was funny. Did you hear what the lady just said? She said, "Oh, language." She's like, "Oh, foreigner." Anyway, used to hear that a lot in China, not so much anymore. Yeah, as I was saying, they put these yellow walls up, painted everything yellow, and then put nice Chinese traditional painting along the walls. I guess maybe it's great employment for some local artists, and it's a good opportunity for propaganda to promote Chinese culture, to make the town full. Well, apparently I've gone 30 kilometers now, which means on the long route I have another 10 kilometers to go, which is not too far. So that's good. Almost to my destination. Maybe another half an hour. Fishing pond. Beautiful day. One of the nice things about the Chinese government's countryside development has been, I guess it's not natural. I mean, that can't be natural, can it? Just wildflowers planted along the roadside. All over Liaoning, when you go through the countryside, there are, even deep into the countryside where there's no people, there are wildflowers, beautiful wildflowers growing. 永远跟党走，共建中国梦，新时代，新方向，新目标。Look at all these great 学百年党史开市夜新剧. I can't see what that says. So, propaganda posters are alive and well, apparently. 百年历史红色促进专程红色基因干嘛呀？铭记光辉历史 Sounds awesome. I'll try to translate that. Hope I read them correctly. Well, here we are, maybe 33 to 35 kilometers in. Almost halfway done for the day. Another water break. Nice area. Today I'm really amazed by the stench of the feces. I guess it's going to get worse during the summer months, particularly on this road. Most of the road has not stunk so bad, but this area and that last little town. Woo-hoo! Stinky. Another nice thing about Chinese roads, even when you go way, way out into the countryside, you know, like hundreds of kilometers from any big town, they always line the roads with trees and then paint the bottoms white. I'm not sure why this started or where the tradition came from. Going kind of fast right now, it's a little bit, gotta be really careful, but I'll try to finish this point. Someone told me that these were planted and painted as guides. So if you don't have very bright headlights at night, you can still see the road, because you can see the sides of the road where the trees are white. Well, now I'm less than 5 kilometers from my destination. Looks like I'm gonna have to climb this hill, which I really don't want to do. But no pain, no gain. Unless they let me turn right. Which I don't think. Please let me turn right. Ah, yes. My GPS just said 100米之后右拐. Oh, hello, Mr. Cow. 100米右转 means after 100 meters, turn right and enter 花公路. Beautiful. Gonna avoid that hill. 1.9 meters, I'm sorry, 1.9 kilometers on this road. I must be about 3 to 4 kilometers from my destination, so looks good, looking good. Looking good. Well, I officially made it to my destination. And honestly, it said 40 kilometers. I think I've done like 37, maybe 38. So apparently the destination marked out by my GPS is not the same as the last one, because I can see that hill. Zoom in a little bit. That hill over there is where I busted my tire going down this hill. And if I'm right, which I think I am, that enormous building over there is the mansion that I found last time at the bottom of the hill. So I went down that hill, busted my tire somewhere around there, and walked down to that big old house. So I guess this road is going to take me to the town on the north side of the reservoir. And now I'm at, well, sorry, the east side of the reservoir. Now I'm at the far south side of the reservoir. So let's see what happens. You can see this little outlet from the reservoir. People are fishing. They probably pay to fish. Oh, maybe not. It's really working out perfectly today. This is exactly where I wanted to go.
even on the local level. I didn't expect for such good luck. Now I gotta climb this hill. Wonder if I can do it video. .1 kilometers. And I think I'll be at my destination. Yay! Oh, I want to downshift. Alright, almost to my destination. In my last video, when I came down the hill, I said I wanted to ride around the lake to get to the town, which I could see from the top of the hill. And this is that town. So my GPS took me right here. Might be too early, but if I could just find a restaurant that's actually open at this time of day, that would be perfect. Oh, there's the reservoir. Nice. Beautiful. That was a nice little climb. And there's a dam. Go figure. I didn't see that on the map. Wonder if it's a hydroelectric station. Yeah, there's the mansion that I walked down to last time. Nice, nice place. There's that mansion. Stopped behind it last time. Very pretty. And I can see my phone is not good at making video at a distance, so I'll stop. I was also very curious what this place was. Could see it from far away. And there's a convenient English translation. Wedding. So it's some kind of banquet hall. I would try to go in and get some rice, buy some rice, but if they're having a wedding today, later today, don't want to bother them. In a minute I'll show you the outside. You wouldn't expect it to be so pretty from the outside, but this is really nice. There's actually a wedding hall right next to this reservoir. This is really absolutely perfect for what I need. A full menu of delicious food and a seat outside right next to the reservoir. Beautiful. Yeah, so here's the catering place. Looks absolutely shabby from the outside, pretty on the inside. And here is their outdoor dining. order some food. I'm gonna sit over here by the dam, not far from the dam, and enjoy the view of the reservoir. It's really pretty. I got to bring some people here for a bike ride if I can get somebody willing to ride 80K with me. Beautiful day. Well, now it's around 11 o'clock in the morning. Just had a big lunch and sitting right next to this beautiful reservoir. I'm going to try to make it back to take the long way again and try to make it back to my school in Jinshitan with a 40.1 kilometer ride. I have a 37.5 choice, but I want to crack 80 today if I can. 80 kilometers. I'm already at 41 kilometers, so if I have a 40 kilometer route back, that means I'm definitely going to go beyond 80. I'm hurting already. My legs are a little bit tired, but I had a big meal for energy. Lots of rice and some sugar. I got a bottle of water. I'll probably have to stop and buy some water along the way, but here we go. Maybe I'll make a few more short videos if I find anything interesting along the route. I look so ridiculous in this helmet. It's funny. To infinity and beyond. Here's the last view of the reservoir, and away we go. Stopped for another water break. I realized today I probably should be doing 50-kilometer rides. I graduated from about 30, 35. Wow, sigh. That was scary. The truck was coming right at me for a second. That was scary. Well, the good news is I could have jumped behind this barrier. Man, the guy was going fast too. Well, it's dangerous out here. It's a good reminder. Hello. Somebody's renovating. Wow, cool old house. Oh, I'm tired. This is the point where I realize when I hit about 50K that I got like another 30K left to go, and it hurts. And the sun's beating down, and I realize that I'm shooting for too much distance too soon. But something about my personality, I don't want to accept my bad physical condition. I don't want to believe how incredibly badly out of shape I am. It's a nice cornfield. So I just keep pushing myself. And this is a beautiful road. Very pretty. All right, well, one psychological trick I sometimes use is to say to myself, I just got to get home. I made it out. I reached my destination. Now I just got to get back home. That's it. It's not too far. Just get home. It's not a race. Well, this is a nice ride. Beautiful place. Well, let's see what's coming up next. Well, just finished 50K. Feeling good. Climbing hills is now hard, but 30 more K approximately, and I'll be back. This is why I love these roads. because I've been rolling downhill for at least 2 kilometers now. I haven't even had to pedal. It's like a free 2 kilometers. And climbing this kind of hill is also really easy. I'm going maybe 20 kilometers an hour. I'll add a little juice with the pedals. You know, climbing up a hill like this is so easy and comfortable, and then you get down the other side and just slowly, pleasantly roll for a few kilometers, enjoying the beautiful scenery. You earned the distance on the climb. I could, in the future, push myself down these hills and probably get up to 30 kilometers an hour really easily, maybe faster. But it's just so pleasant just to enjoy this beautiful road. Thank God. One of the nice things about using the GPS is that it automatically will swap the roads. So although I'm going to the same place, to and from the same place, and theoretically I came route 4 times. In fact, I'm riding 4 different routes. Very different. And oh, there's Jinshitan in the distance. But it's very hazy as usual. Anyway, I gotta climb this hill, so beautiful. I am baking in this sun. Up we go. Up we go. Turn right. Oh, bumpy road. Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. Yeah. There's some kind of cattle farm. Beef, I guess. This road is totally empty so far. I haven't seen one car as I'm climbing this long hill. I think it's called Shuiku. Wow, those are some big power lines. I remember crossing underneath these last time, so maybe I'm heading towards that narrow gravel path that I took last time. I don't know, maybe not. Wow, what a beautiful day. Look at those beautiful big clouds. Wow, what a beautiful day. And that is one big cornfield underneath those power lines. Well, so far the ride home has been so nice. Even nicer than the ride to my destination, which was beautiful to begin with. Love these countryside roads. I think I know where I am. Yep, I know where I am. In the distance you can see a mountain that is being chiseled away. Past to that 3 or 4 times already. And I think, let's see, they'll want me to make a left turn when I get past this intersection. And then another left turn when I get to the big road up ahead. And that will take me most of the way home. Wow, I'm so thankful for these clouds. So if I'm correct, this is the same road that I'm approaching. This is the same road that I took out this morning. which I've ridden on recently a lot on my bike and in my car. It's this big north-south line across the peninsula. Alrighty, putting the phone away. Let's get some more riding done. And there it is. That memorable landmark. It's basically a big hill that was chiseled out, or I don't know, maybe dynamited out and mined for rock, I guess. Or maybe there's some other mineral in there or something. Who knows? That's a nice long big hill. Nice big hill to climb. Well, I'm wishing that those clouds over there would come this way. Unfortunately, I'm getting baked a bit by the sun, but they seem to be approaching me, so maybe in the next half an hour or so I'll get some comfortable, cool air. Well, finally, the sun has been covered by those clouds for at least a few seconds. Oh, now it's coming out again. Whew. Well, little by little, I think I must be approaching 60 kilometers now. Well, now I'm officially in the pain zone. I must be around 70 kilometers. You know, not far from my neighborhood, but still, I'll show you what it looks like. So, I gotta go up these hills, and I have a very strong headwind blowing into my face. I can feel the energy from the food I ate, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty awful. The pain zone. I'm in the pain zone. Whew. Upward and onward. It's really amazing how big a hill looks when you feel like this. When everything in your body is just saying, stop, rest, stop, rest, you need to rest, stop. This is when David Goggins, this is when you need a little David Goggins. One little hill never looked like a mountain until your body was worn down. Mind control is what they call it. They made a song about it. Your body can keep going. The problem is your mind. It tells you you can't. It tells you you should rest. Just take a little rest. The problem is you can take a little rest, but then before you know it, the rests get longer and longer, and you just give up. Hoping this is the last big hill. Woo, made it. Made it to the top of the hill. Two more kilometers on this road. Hopefully it's all downhill. Well, I gotta be past 70 kilometers now. It's gonna be a hard-earned 80 kilometers for my weak body. But here we go. Nice steep descent here. One thing I've noticed in this part of China is that there are aqueducts around. I've traveled around northeast China very extensively, but I haven't seen many aqueducts, except in this area there's quite a few. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. It's interesting. Alrighty. Now we're entering back into the bubble, the Jinshitan bubble. Must be like 6 hours since I left. It's been a long ride. And I had a long break for lunch. I think it's going to be about 5 hours of riding today. Maybe more. Because coming back has been very painful. Alright. Almost back into the Jinshitan area. For the last push, I just chugged a little 300 milliliter mango juice. Lawson's is your friend, ladies and gentlemen. I got about 6 kilometers left to go, and I'm back. Woohoo! Finally made it back. Whew, that was quite a ride. Chugging that mango juice really seems to give me energy to make the last 8 or 9 kilometers, maybe 7 kilometers. 7 or 8 kilometers, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. 80 kilometers, actually probably more like 83, 84 kilometers. I'll tally it up later. Oh, my goodness. What a ride. Thank God I made it safely.